Jeremy had a very strong character, but he was always very positive, and that's what we were. We were positive.
No.
We never ever said you can't do anything. It was always what he could do. We never said, oh, you can't, and he could do everything. He did everything, didn't he?
Very adventurous.
I love opportunities to be able to support people, to tell stories that are either not told by society, or the people that are telling the story aren't allowed to tell stories by society. So I think iMusic is a really good opportunity to tell a story which is not often told, and by people who don't often get to tell it.
Because it's a rare thing, and people should expose themselves to rare things.
It was in 2006 that Jim asked if he could tell me his story. And he said, because I think people with disabilities have huge challenges in their lives, and they're the kind of stories that people need to hear. I want people to understand that challenge is a good thing, and it's how you tackle it.
It's all possible. Anything's possible, and everything's possible, and don't despair.
That even though it's not a conventional family, it's a very strong family.
Because it is important.
Do you think it's really important that he wanted to share his voice and his opinion?
Yeah.
And do you think that's a really important message to share with the audiences?
Yeah.
It's just extraordinary to watch Anton work, because he's always in the moment, I feel. He's always thinking of new possibilities for the scene, and he's always in Jem's mind. On the surface it looks like it's Anton, but he is Jem. He actually is becoming Jem, and you do learn patience, but it's just wonderful, you know, midway through a scene for Anton to stop and say, how about we try this, how about we try that? And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but it really just adds so much to have every voice be a part of the production, and to be so accepting of every voice, I feel, more so than other shows I've worked on.
I think that his heart is in it. I think that his heart is in it. I think that his heart is in it.
And I think it's empowering, and it breaks down boundaries and misconceptions of people with a disability, as do all the Tootie productions and Restless productions and that sort of thing. People always leave with a greater understanding and acceptance of someone who has an intellectual or physical disability, and realise that they're just as extraordinary as we are, if not more so.
Friend, because he is my kind friend. Him and me go to top 8 can.
We hope it brings to the community what Jeremy wanted to say. He always had a lot to say. And everything was very important to him. He wanted the community to know, mainly, that people with severe disabilities still had normal feelings and thoughts. They weren't just a body.
They were people, not a disability.
They were people.
That was one of his things.
Yes.
He wanted to be treated as a person, not as a disability.
And someone that had a brain.
Gathered he extended himself outside what people's perceptions of what he was capable of. And that's really important for everyone to take on board.
That's pretty powerful, and a message that should hit home to a lot of people and a lot of decision makers, a lot of politicians, that people with an intellectual disability can actually make choices for themselves.
I think Jeremy was a man who had such an amazing imagination and intelligence and political compassion and ambition ambition, that from what I can tell, everyone that was around him was just so amazed and captivated by his brilliance.
If you're a curious person, if you're interested in the world and all its colours and all its diversity, come and see this show.